Hello, mamas, and happy Cyber Monday. Can you believe that it's already December? The weather outside, wouldn't say it's frightful here because I know it's stormy in other parts of the country, but it's definitely drizzly. And it's starting to feel a lot like winter. So, do you like my little beard? I am here with another mommy moment. And today I want to just talk a little bit about space because, man, this time of year can feel really crunchy and really full and sometimes stressful. So, how can we create space in our environment, first of all, by getting rid of what is filling our physical space, making room. Hi, Megan. And also how to create space in our minds, how to cultivate mindfulness and spaciousness. Because I don't know about you, but this time of year, my head feels so congested with snot at the moment. I'm sick, my kids are sick, but also just with all the activities, all the things that we need to do and places we need to be, presents to buy, right? And the consumerism can get really gunky, at least for me. And so today, my invitation during this mommy moment is to invite you to just create a sense of spaciousness in your body, whatever that means. For me, I'm about to embark on in some belly dancing. I've never done belly dancing, but my body is just feeling, I haven't been doing yoga and I haven't been exercising as much. And I just feels a little bit rigid. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go belly dancing. Nicole, maybe you'll come with me, to find that feminine flow, to find that sense of space and ease, even when my body doesn't know how to do all the moves, right? Can I find joy in a beginner's mind, a beginner's body, right? And this sense of like fluidity, that's really appealing to me this time of year. And when I'm adding something new in, especially when life feels already full, I'm very cognizant of what am I taking out to create space for the new. So, what do you need to create space around? Maybe it's your morning routine. Maybe you want to go to bed a little bit earlier so that you can get up a little bit earlier so you can spend some time just with yourself before your kids jump on you or before you have to wake them up for school, right? So I want to share with you another intentionality that I am adding during the month of December, which I will continue to share with you here in our group. And that is just what I suggested. My plan is to go to bed early, like I'm talking 8:30 early, an hour after I put my kids to bed, and then to wake up early so that I have this spacious morning where I can read if I want, or journal, or meditate, or be with my altar. So that's one of the things that I am going to cultivate during this month of December is an altar. So I'll be adding things to my altar and just spending time with myself, just like marinating in my relationship with me. I am an introvert at heart, and this time of year is very extroverted. So I am aware that I really need to be intentional about spending time just with me. So I want to just give you a brief look at my current altar, and then you'll kind of see the progress that it goes through throughout the rest of the month. Okay, so you'll see it behind me. So this is my altar. So I've got my little candle. I've got my sage. Hi, Shelly. I've got my new card deck from Gabby Bernstein. There's a card over there. And she really talks all about how feeling good is everything. I've got my mala beads, my little picture, my salt lamp. So you'll see me continue to add to my altar, but also probably subtract because it's feeling a little bit full right now. So I would love for you to share with me in the comments, what are you creating space around? What are you maybe getting rid of? What are you adding to the space that's already there? Let's have a conversation about space, which could include space in your calendar, space in your mind, space in your body, just leaving space for whatever shows up, not having everything crammed full, which is my kind of MO. So throughout this month, you'll see me creating that space. So right now, this bookshelf is super crammed, and that's like a metaphor for my life. So I will be letting this bookshelf be an example of how I can experience my own spaciousness. So I'm on this journey with you. I am not on this high, holy place, right? We are in this together, and I want to hold space for you to be on your empowered mother's journey. And I also really want us to feel like we are doing it together so that we aren't lone wolfing motherhood. Megan says, I'd like to create around wanting. I don't really know how yet. Maybe an art project or creating an altar to it. Oh my goodness, that really speaks to me. What I hear when I read that is desire, letting myself want, and maybe not even knowing how to fulfill that desire, but just letting like my heart crack open with desire. And then you also say spaciousness around wanting, craving. Yeah, thank you. So I'd love for us in the group to just hold space for Megan as she embarks on her own spacious journey. And we don't need to coach one another or give one another feedback, right? Unless we ask for it. So that's my request as we continue on this journey together. That unless we ask for suggestions or advice, we don't give it. So Megan, if you want advice on how to create spaciousness out of your wanting and craving, then the invitation is to ask for it, right? Because we're all sovereign women and we get to ask for what we want. And if you don't want it, then you can say that too. So Megan says, my son, age 6, was so into wanting stuff yesterday, but I felt like I was observing him wanting to fill an existential hole. And it was bugging me because of the consumerism piece. But I don't want my kids to feel shame around wanting because there is a lot that I want. Yes, please. I'm very open to advice and ideas. Oh my goodness. I mean, the thought that comes up for me around your son, which my kids are on either side of that, right? I've got an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, is just to affirm their wanting. I know. I want a lot of stuff too. Right now, I'm wanting some new jewelry. I'm feeling like I want some sparkles. So rather than just like reach up I shop mostly on the internet, right? So before I go online and research some sparkly jewelry, although I have some pretty good sparkles on right now, I must say, can I just sit in the desire? Can I just notice, oh my goodness, I'm really wanting this thing, this physical thing. And then just notice like the emotion that comes up, right? Let yourself have some spaciousness around it without having to always be in action, because there's so much for us. And then once we can let ourselves kind of marinate in that longing, that desire, that craving sensation, if we can just be in the discomfort of it, then we have the skill to be in our children's discomfort too, because it's my belief that I'm not here to fulfill every whim of my child. I'm not here even to make my children happy. I actually don't have that power. So the gift that I want to give my kids this season is to sit with them in their cravings, right? Mommy, I want another cookie. I really, really want another cookie. I know I want another cookie too. Wouldn't it be so great if we could eat all the cookies in the cookie jar in one sitting? Wouldn't that be great? Don't you wish we could just eat like 10 cookies, one right after the other? That would be so silly and so fun. And then they go, yeah, I really want to, Mommy. And especially Benjamin, who's 4. I really want another cookie. I know you really want another cookie. We're not going to have another cookie, but wouldn't it be so fun? And then maybe he cries, right? Definitely whines. And then we can talk about, I want another cookie too. I wonder when we can have another cookie next. And then we come up with a plan. And that often helps quell, I know, my own anxiety when I'm craving something. I give myself space, but only for a certain amount of time. And then I allow myself to be in action. But when I'm in action, right upon first craving something, I miss something. There's something for me in that gap. So I liken it to the breath, right? So we think of the breath as the inhale and the exhale. But there's something in the gap between the inhale and the exhale. And when we let ourselves, again, marinate in that gap, so we breathe in, and there's a gap right before that craving to exhale. And if we can let our minds just sit in the gap, there's something for us. Even though we're craving the exhale or craving the inhale, if we can just pause in the gap and then let ourselves fulfill the need, right? Because often we're craving something that we truly do need. It's not always just a want or a desire, but it's a need. And so the gap helps us get clear on what the need is, and the need might not always be what we're craving. If we're craving food, the need might actually be connection with another person rather than nourishment. But it might actually be nourishment. So that gap allows us to make an empowered choice. Okay, mamas, I hope this served you. Again, if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments how you are creating spaciousness in your life this December. And I look forward to hearing more, okay? Keep on putting the me back in mommy so that you can serve your loved ones, including yourself, from a full cup. I love you. Mwah.